I'm Selena Stewart. I'm interviewing Beth Duffy, Chief Operating Officer of Einstein Medical Center, Montgomery. How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing today?
Good. So please tell us about your career journey to your current position of COO of Einstein Medical Center, Montgomery.
Well, for a very long time when I was much younger, I knew that I wanted to be involved in healthcare in some form or fashion, and chose a career path that was slightly unusual. I got my bachelor's degree in social work from the University of Pittsburgh, really focused on wanting to help people. And as I graduated and realized I needed to pursue a higher level degree in order to move forward in social work, I decided that I would get into health administration, and so I went to Temple University and went through their MBA program with a focus in health administration. Got a job at Albert Einstein Medical Center in Philadelphia in a management position, which served me very well, gave me a really solid foundation for understanding healthcare operations. And then over the course of 32 years, I moved up in that organization, assuming various director roles, assistant vice president roles, and ultimately vice president for healthcare services. About 7 years ago, when Einstein made the decision to build a brand new hospital in Montgomery County, I was very interested in participating in that process and asked my CEO if it would be okay if I kind of went along for the ride and started to attend meetings related to the development and design of this new hospital, and then was ultimately asked to lead what's referred to as the activation planning process. That is trying to pull together all of the operational aspects that need to come together to make sure that we provide safe, high-quality care to patients. And so I took on that responsibility, did that for about 3 years, and then as that role was coming to the end of its course because we were opening the new hospital, I was asked to be the Chief Operating Officer here and have been in that role for the last 4 years.
That's awesome. It's good to know. So in this position, what are some of your major responsibilities?
So I view this role as kind of the orchestra leader. I have a wonderful team, but it's my responsibility to make sure that I provide for them all of the tools and skills that they need to be successful in their jobs. And so my role is to coordinate all of that, to remove any barriers that might be in their way of being successful, to obtain the necessary resources, whether that's equipment resources or skill resources or additional human resources, act as their advocate. I interface with my boss, which is the CEO of our network, but also with the board that represents Einstein Medical Center Montgomery. And then I also view my role as being one of somebody who represents this institution to the outside, to the community. And so there are a lot of interfaces with whether it be community organizations or patients themselves, family members. All of that is under my purview.
Awesome. Okay, so what are some of the major challenges of managing the hospital, and how do you and your team successfully meet those daily challenges?
So I think one of the biggest challenges that you face in healthcare today is the significant amount of change that is occurring. It is one of the things that I like best about working in this industry, but it also is something that requires you to stay very focused, to stay in touch, and to help people through this change that is occurring. It feels like, you start to go down one course and then you have to go, take a little detour and go down another course, and then you have to get back on the path again. So I think that's one of the biggest challenges that we face in healthcare. Obviously, making sure that you're doing everything that you possibly can to provide that high quality, high satisfying, safe patient care is something that is also a big challenge and responsibility. And as I said before, helping the people who deliver that care to have all of the tools, equipment, and resources that they need in order to be successful in their roles.
What is the best part of your job?
I guess I would say I know I have had a good day when I have felt like I have helped someone. And maybe that gets back to my social work roots, but for me, being able to contribute to the success of this organization, whether that means when I'm rounding on patients, a patient is able to share with me a compliment about the care that they received, or kudos to a particular member of the team, that is really so highly satisfying to me. When we're able to demonstrate that we are providing high quality, safe care, that is also equally satisfying to me. But really, when I feel like I've helped someone, that to me says I've had a very good day, and I've been successful.
So this interview is being viewed by a wide audience of healthcare administration students throughout the region. What advice would you give to a student who is preparing for a career in hospital management?
I would, there's a couple things that, it's a commonly asked question, and there's a couple things that I like to say are my words of wisdom. First of all, never turn down an opportunity to do something. If you are asked to give to do a particular task, even if it feels like it's a task you've done before, or maybe it's not something that you're interested in, accept that responsibility and do the very best that you can with it. Because people notice that. You oftentimes will learn things from projects or assignments that you think are maybe not very meaningful. There are always pearls to learn from everything that you do. I think it's also incredibly important to find a mentor that you can learn from. That takes some time. It doesn't always happen overnight. I was very lucky to have two really good mentors throughout my career. People that showed me ways of doing things that I could learn from, and offering words of advice and encouragement when things maybe didn't seem to be going the way I wanted them to. So having a solid mentor is also, I think, an important thing that helps you to be successful.
I agree. I know you would agree that internships and networking are important to getting a start in any profession. What advice can you offer for finding those internships and opportunities for mentoring by senior executives in the greater Philadelphia region? How can a student connect with those opportunities?
So don't be afraid to use connections to get doors open for you. Don't be afraid to ask people if they know somebody, or can be the one that opens the door or makes the introduction for you. And don't be afraid to just make calls or send emails on your own. And that's not to say that you won't get some, responses maybe that are no's or no response at all. Don't get discouraged when that happens. It is a process. It takes time. It takes energy. But it is the way that doors get open for you. So you have to kind of keep at it.
All right, awesome. Thank you so
Oh,
much
you're
for your
welcome.
time.
My pleasure.
Okay.